Hey man, I thought you might find this interesting. So I recently added some MK677 from blank, and I thought it was a great deal to add with my LGD. Within 10 days of adding what I no longer believe is actually MK677, I started having upper right quadrant abdominal pain. That's where your liver sits. And loose stools, diarrhea. Another red flag right there. After two to 3 days of pain being constant, I went to the emergency room and had a full blood work panel done. Turns out my AST was 262 and his ALT was 1045. So that is blown out of range. And yeah, he says incredibly out of range. No jaundice present, and he came back negative for hepatitis. They ran a CT scan on my liver and saw some inflammation, but no cancer, tumors, etc. Everything else on the blood work came back fine, but the blood work was taken about 2 days after a heavy workout, which could have affected that, but not that 1045. So what I'm guessing is this triple storm of things is why the numbers are so high, but I'm also pretty sure that 90% of it was responsible for the elevation was the bullshit MK677 was probably a methylated hormone. Went back to the doctor tomorrow, 3 days after the ER, and having stopped everything, and everything seems to have subsided, and he's taken N-acetylcysteine, which I recommend everyone take who uses orals. But yeah, that's no joke. And I wanted to make this video because I have gone bunk stuff in the past. You know, when this channel was born, one of the Sarms cycles I decided to cheap out. This was before I was affiliated with Enhanced Athlete, and you know, I had a good source back then. They're no longer around, but they closed down or something happened to them. And I thought, you know, instead of going with this, why don't I go on eBay and get this really cheap SARM? And I decided to video document it. And I had crazy estrogen issues. It was definitely a pro-hormone. I have that cycle logged on this channel. Just click on my playlist and it's fake SARM log. I definitely did get some good results, but it was not a SARM. And this guy thought he was going to get a good deal on MK677, which is growth hormone secretagogue, and turns out it wrecked his liver and was nothing to what it was. So just be careful where you're shopping for these research chems. I know it's a bit of a Wild West scenario, but you know, word of mouth is great, seeing what other people's results from, and I'm sure someone will steer you in the right direction of a quality company if you ask for it. So this wasn't really to draw attention to plugging my, you know, sponsorships, the we of the best. This was more like, be careful what you're buying, because he went to the ER over some MK677, which I feel bad for him. Like, that's crazy. And I just don't want to see that happen to anyone else, and I'm sure he doesn't either. I mean, MK677, you think you get liver side effects from that? No. So just be careful what you're doing and where you're buying your research chemicals from for your research needs.